We are live again. And with sound confirmed, sound check. So once again, Daniel Jobber, aka Bad Player 03, here with the second episode, the journey north and around of Mars Alive. We had to have near perfect intro, starting off, gathering all the resources that we need, building the things we need early on, covering all these areas here. And next we're going to journey up around over this bridge, which requires the white card that we made, around here to a hab, and we're going to gather a few resources here, and then we're going to head all the way around through this canyon, skipping this side passage here for now because there's no value to going into here at this point. Around here, and to this hab that's here, and that's going to be a decent sized episode we're going to have here. So, but it's going to be informative because this is where a lot of the meat and potatoes of the game can really be understood. And then the third episode will be about getting the quest turned in that'll give us the final patterns that we need, so we can fill our pattern board or whatever on our 3D printer with all the patterns we're supposed to have, so you can enjoy the game as much to the fullest as possible. Because if you don't do it this way, if you at any point log off and restart the game, you may never be able to get these other patterns. So do exactly as I show in these first 3 episodes, you should be able to enjoy virtually all the game, except for whatever it takes to get the missing quests I was mentioning, and the 2 secret endings, and the third, besides the 2 secret endings, there's another achievement that virtually no one's ever got. So if you want to be able to do that, well, that's where you can take it from here, from at the end of this. But up until the point where you can enjoy the game to the fullest, outside of that, this guide will show you everything you need to know. Okay, so we're well rested, the car is nice and charged, we're ready to head north. Saying goodbye to this valley where we started our quest. We'll be back. In fact, you can, with that teleporter in here, once you start teleporting yourself, you can teleport back here anytime you want. There's also a cool little shortcut through here you can unlock once you get the blue level 3 key card. And this will be one of the best ways to get from the new area on the other side of the map back. But unfortunately, you don't get the blue card until you at least get to this side. And so you can never take this shortcut from this side to begin with, or the shortcut at the bottom here over this elevator. Both of these shortcuts require the blue card, which you cannot get to. At the very least, you get to this side of the map. So they were smart. They made sure you couldn't, that these shortcuts were only ways to get back once you get over, and that you had to get over the hard way the first time. So make sure we turn to the right this time, because we don't want to head to the same place that we've been going the last couple trips. Need to go through this little gap here. So you can look at the mini-map, you can see where we're going all the time. I'll try to look down at it more, and probably will, because I'm trying to drive, exactly where I need to go. So this mini-map helps without having to open the big map. Gonna gather everything we can on the way. So we'll be bulging with resources and car batteries by the time we get to the next hab, the North Hab, and then get ready to make our journey across the map. Even driving this cool Mars car, especially once you get to level 4 or 5, tell you, man, it's not something that people should take for granted. How the cool ambiance of this game has. Maybe you think it's just a junky old rolling vehicle or whatever, but if you consider the fact that you're driving a Mars rover on Mars, something most people would dream of doing. I mean, isn't that the purpose of VR, is to do things that maybe you dream of doing that you'll probably never get to do for real? It's one of the best parts of VR, in my opinion. Experiences. That's why they usually refer to VR apps as experiences. They're not just games or apps, they're experiences. It should be a big water. Lots of room in our inventory. Might as well collect as much water and food as we can as we travel. Ores. We'll get some aluminium soon enough, which is what we use to make the level 2 green key cards. Eventually we're going to need a bunch of those. Early on, not necessarily required, but won't be terribly long before they're quite necessary and useful. Because later on, when ores become hard to find, ones that you haven't mined yet, being able to go along and open those boxes again and again, including the ones, especially the ones that you have to unlock the first time. Tremendously valuable way to build those things you couldn't build before. Look at that, it looks like you should be able to go up there and explore. If you did it right, maybe you could. But fortunately, none of those cool exploration areas that you have no reason to go and they don't expect you to go give you any value. They're just for show and fun and adventure. Still, I'm definitely going to do a few videos showing you guys the cool, subtle places you can explore that they don't intend you to explore, and maybe most people never do get to explore because of the fact that they don't realize the stick to the wall glitch is almost like mountain climbing. They could have done this game perfect. They should have actually made a tool that is a grappling hook, or a mountain climbing gear, actually, I should say, and actually lets you climb mountains and go to all the secret areas. And eventually they could just have a real barrier in the map where you couldn't actually get through. But they could have let you climb mountains and explore and get into all the little valleys and just put more things to find, or at least, landmarks or signs, or, this person was here, or anything. They really should have embraced the fact that people want to climb and explore and see all that a space has to offer. But yet, there's so many areas where you're never meant to go to. But it is what it is. I said, if it was up to me, I could make this game so much better. If I had a programmer or two that could program PlayStation, the rights to the game, the code, I think I could probably find a bigger market for it than, unfortunately, the ones that never really embraced the game in the first place. VR is different to different people. Some people love the action. I mean, I know I sure like every now and again poking around on Iron Man and that Spider-Man demo where you spin webs and spin through the city as Spider-Man in action and falling. And there's people that use VR as a pseudo-social environment where they can meet with friends that they wouldn't be able to meet with otherwise. And there's players like me that just want to go places and do things and see things I wouldn't be able to do in real life, have escapes, and maybe escapists in a way. Times, don't you ever wanted to escape Earth and just go to some place like Mars and see nobody else? I think they just need to manage expectations and create the right expectations so that the players that would have liked this game would be attracted to it, and the ones that would play and poo-poo on it were warned ahead of time that it's not their kind of game. Fortunately, I think the poo-poos kind of had it. I'm hoping maybe a few people might actually be curious about this game. Is it worth buying? And check out these videos and hear me say that, yeah, this game's a lot of hours of fun. Hi. I'm live.
Yeah, but when are you done being live?
Oh, I don't know, probably a few hours. Why? Need anything?
No, I want to tell you something.
My daughter. I mean, if it's nothing too private, I mean, it's just a video. I mean, yes, it's going to be on YouTube, but
I consider it private.
there might not be a lot of people watching.
Oh, okay. That guy outside is singing the fence.
Oh, yeah.
He's not wearing a shirt. It's weird.
Oh, well. Don't bug him. I'm sure he won't bug you. Never done anything to hurt me or be on. He's always been friendly and good to me, so
Overly friendly.
that's okay. Rather overly friendly than overly unfriendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like this Jane Takahashi. Sometimes she can be a real riot. Anyways, that's my daughter. Job or daughter. We have a video series playing Resident Evil 6, the arcade action one. I'm very proud of. I got a chance to be the worst father and daughter duo ever. Hope you check it out sometime on one of my YouTube channels. I think it's even this one, if I'm not mistaken. Or it'll be on one of my other gaming channel. But very proud of that series. Had a lot of fun with my jobber daughter on that one. And we finished it. Fortunately, the first episode we did twice, and neither time did I ever manage to get it uploaded. So have all the other chapters except for the first one. Then I have a stepdaughter who I played through Resident Evil 5 with, but unfortunately she wasn't up for doing a video series, so we didn't broadcast it and didn't create a video for YouTube.
You thought I was up to doing a video for you?
At least you weren't resistant to it.
Yes, I was.
I kind of forced her into it, I'll be honest. Or coerced her. I mean, I had to coerce my stepdaughter to playing Resident Evil 5 too, don't get me wrong. But she ended up enjoying it. Both pretty cool stories. And a pretty good playthrough. I'd like to have a partner to play through Resident Evil 5 again, that was fun. Most of my Resident Evil is just by myself. Now that I have VR and I can enjoy Resident Evil 7 VR, I've been meaning to play that. That's a really amazing VR experience if you like horror and jump scares and love to feel scared and shocked and freaked out. That it came out really good in VR. I was very impressed. Fortunately, the Steam version, you have to actually add on something to make it go into VR. I mean to do that, but I just acquired the Steam version the other day. But it's nice with this one on the PlayStation. You just pop on it, and if you say go VR, you got VR. No fuss or hassle. And I mean, the VR is fine. I mean, yes, my Oculus Rift is incredible. Resolution is so much better than the PlayStation one. 1080p, I think, for starters. This is only 720, I believe. But it's good for certain things and other things not. For example, this game, which was never released on Steam. Another disappointment. But then Steam wasn't really, maybe didn't really have the strong VR market back then, so they didn't think Steam was going to be the way to go. If they'd released it on Steam, a lot of this hassle wouldn't have happened because people could have modded it and made the game whatever they wanted. Fortunately, PlayStation is very resistant to all this stuff, and you can't even get source code or see any of the files. It's virtually impossible to hack unless you've got really special tools. Well, unfortunately, the PlayStation is the wrong platform for this game, and might have been part of its detriment and downfall. They could find a way to go back and port it over to Steam. That would have been pretty smart, I think. But by the time, I think maybe if they were ever going to do it, they'd already given up on it. I mean, it was when it was in the Kickstarter version, I believe they did say it was only going to be made on PlayStation VR. But it doesn't make it the perfect choice. And I think it was the wrong choice, personally. I think they should have done it on both, or... But I mean, I'm sure a lot more people had PlayStation VR back then than Oculus. Me, I love them both like they're treasures of mine. VR, in my mind, is the future of technology and humanity and a lot of things, because one, for people who are stuck and can't do much and explore much, it gives them freedom. Two, people could design and create anything in a virtual world, make it any size, scale it up, scale it down, work on microscopic things in large size, design anything in a virtual world by themselves or with collaboration. Or first aluminium. And they could even test it. Test inventions and things right in VR with a test engine. Basically, they could make designers out of just about, inventors out of just about anybody. And someone who couldn't design the simplest machine might figure out how to put some machines together to do something cool. If you think about the history of technology, back in the day, only the most specialized people could even read, let alone learn how to create and invent, and so technology was so slow. Then as we got more modern, more people could read, more people could learn, more people learned how to do stuff, but still it was only the highly educated, smart people that could do stuff. Then the information hits and almost anybody can learn to do anything. And look how fast technology moves now. It's faster and faster. Imagine if anybody in the world could design anything, whether they were a natural designer, skilled, smart, or whatever, and just come up with a whim of an idea, put it together and test it and see what happened. Imagine if we had everybody in the world able to design things, how much faster we could move things along. So I can see the history, the future of technology and mankind moving even faster into a new technical future. VR is going to be a powerful tool once we have a true virtual reality operating system and proper design environments, which can do virtually anything, whether you're by yourself or in a group of people. Some people see VR as an office space and a way to have virtual offices and combine people in virtual offices from different places. I see it as the holodeck, the world's first holodeck, where you can design and create and try anything and test, experiment anything, and see what's going to happen before we ever waste any resources on actually building the thing. And as I like to say, if you build something and it doesn't work and you don't like it, you shake it off like an Etch-a-Sketch and you start from scratch. The Etch-a-Sketch of design. Oh, there we go. So anyways, this is the bridge. And once we put the key card in, it'll extend the bridge. And I'll tell you about a cool bridge glitch, which I will show in a video. But this glitch does mess up the game one way or another. If you chase the bridge, you'll never get to the spot where it's open. But if you were to click right here right now and click the X again, you will retract the bridge. If you hop in the car and drive, or if you just run, you'll actually run to where the bridge is retracting and fall down into this gap, which you cannot go down any other way. And you'll fall all the way to the bottom, and you will be stuck, with or without the car. Or maybe if you drive the car there and then hop out and run back, maybe the car will just fall down. Or if I drove the car into the middle, came back on foot and hit this button, the car might fall right down there and be gone forever. Funny glitch, cool, and of course it is neat to see what's down here, but there is no value in going down there, and there's no way out, so it is basically a death sentence to your game. And if you're trying to do what I'm doing and not reload the game at any point until you get your patterns, that would be bad. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to be smart and drive across the bridge. Food and water. And on to the northern Hab. The northmost point in the game, kind of like a northern hub, if you will. And if you won't, screw you. I thought it was intelligent. See all these cool machines and you think one of them should do something. None of them ever do. There's nothing you can't click. You can climb up on them, but you can't click X and execute anything. I don't know why. I don't know why. Could have added a few little cool, pleasant surprises. Maybe you execute a button on a machine and something pops out that, nothing's, maybe it could just be a simple resource that you get for free or something. Just some little surprises in this game would have gone a little extra ways to... Stands, most of the surprises are when you do things you're not supposed to do. Or do things in a way or order you're not supposed to do them. Alright. Just about at the Hab. I think we might need to use a battery. We'll find out. Maybe not. We are level 2. If we were level 1, I'm pretty sure we need to use a battery to get to the northern Hab. See where we're headed? Just through the left side there. The middle you can't go through. It goes downhill and there's rocks in the way, so the car will not go through. And the one on the right is just a plateau where there's a couple of things to pick up. Nothing too exciting. The left passage is the one that leads to directly into the Hab. Picking up a few things on the way. There's actually a lot in this upcoming valley here where the Hab is. Several nodes of aluminium. Machine parts. A few boxes. Synthetics. A little of everything. Big waters. And this box we should be able to open because there's no buttons. Free aluminium. There it is, the new Hab. One you're never told about, you just have to find. At least I've never had her tell me about it. But really, you're not going to be able to go to the other side of the map until you do come up here. So it'd be very hard to miss. I suppose one could possibly miss if they went through here and tried to go, but you would need so many batteries. It wouldn't even be funny. I don't think you could easily produce enough batteries unless you logged off, did that beginning part of the game again and again. There's some aluminium. That green color is always aluminium or manganese. And if it's a light blue color, those are platinum and titanium. So you can always tell by the color of the ore what it's going to be, one of two things it's going to be. And if it's a food item that's green, it's like flour or big water. And if it's a one of those part icons that are green, it's either the which we'll get one of these in a minute, a semiconductor, or those little computer chips. So you can get a pretty good idea what you're likely going to find from a distance, but you can't always tell whether it's a food item or a supply item or I don't know what you want to call them, part item. These are food items, these burger symbols. So that's a big water because that's a food item. And then the other ones that look like they're, I don't know, kind of a square shape, those are part. And then ores have that weird curvy shape to them. They're saying lots of good stuff. I mean, you could go through this entire valley if you wanted right now and pick up a few more things if you wish. But we only need enough to really make a couple batteries. Actually, we don't even need a couple more batteries technically, but I might make a few more just in case. But we need to head to the other side of the map so we can get the rest of our patterns. Aluminium. Once we get our green card pattern, we can start collecting green cards. And is this a package I can open? Nope, needs a level 1 card again. White card. We could have white cards and we could be opening these, but just a waste of machine part, I think, at this point. So you get lots of resources just by doing what I'm doing. There's not much on this side of the hab. I think go back to the car, get onto the launching pad. Plenty of energy. Oh, I'm going to want to use an aspirin. Aspirin. I said aspirin, silly boy. Oh, see a little bit of a storm there. Sand clouds. If you stay out in the storm too long, especially when they get really bad and it's really hard to see, your oxygen will drop so much and you'll need to use tons of oxygen. So that's not the best time to be walking if you can help it. It even gets so bad sometimes you can barely see when you're driving. One time I had the darndest time trying to drive. That box needs a card to open. We're not going to worry about it right now. Onto the pad so we can charge the vehicle in a minute. Grab this white one. Ugh, I'm off in the wrong direction. Mars bar. See, even these things look like they should do something, but they don't. There's no X symbol to tell you that you can hold down X and it does anything. Which is really the only way you manipulate things in this game normally. It'd be nice if there was a few more surprises. Oh, see, there's the green part symbol. Oh yeah, it looks like a computer chip. So that's a superconductor. And this is, of course, more aluminium. Generally, you won't be often passing up aluminium, manganese, titanium, and platinum. You need so much of those in this game to make all the cool stuff you can create, including the cool stuff that makes you able to stay out longer and explore more without getting weak as quick. Another sad thing in this game that you get this equipment that can make you explore longer, and yet there's not many places in the game you can't just drive to. That's why we would like to have seen more underground caves and caverns and places that you can't take your car. So you have reason to value your travel equipment, so to speak. This one need a card? No, this one's a freebie. Oh, can't get any more of those chips. Okay, I'll have to come out and grab that chip after. Later on, you get so many of those that you don't need to really worry about them. So, new hab. The North Hab, as I call it. Being the northmost point and hub of the game. One of the big connecting points of the two halves of the game until you get the shortcuts. Okay, first time here we have to log in. John Moon 0813. To the MMR, get it charging. And see, there's no change until we turn in this quest. Very little things will show us to do, and you'll notice there's no teleporter here. Do we have any room to gather any new stuff? No, we need to dump off some stuff into the boxes, and then I can gather all the freebies. Don't matter, we're going to pick all this stuff up later anyways. First let's go to the printer and turn our ores into bars. Get our first aluminium bars. We got lots of copper this time. With aluminium, can we get the third backpack upgrade, I think? Maybe. Or is it the third? No, we need manganese for the third pickaxe. So yeah, it's got to be the backpack upgrade. As you can see, we still haven't got any new patterns. We won't until we get to the other side and then turn in that quest that we're on. Which is why when you turn it in is important, because one, it's what you have to turn it in to get the patterns. Then what you do afterwards, and you can't, once you turn the quest in, you definitely can't log off until you've got all the patterns. And then, of course, the meet and greet quest comes out, and if you want to complete that, you've got to be ready for it, because you only have 6 hours. If you did my last episode, you'd see the, if you want, you could, at this point, if you don't want to go ahead, if I haven't uploaded other episodes, you could go on the my previous videos, and you could see about the meet and greet quest if you're really curious. Oh. Now let's dump all this off. I want to grab the freebies. But the meet and greet quest will be coming up once we turn in, oh, 2 things of flour. Once we turn in the quest that we're on. Fairly soon after in most cases. If you do it really early, then sometimes you have time to actually get to the other side of the map before it comes up. And even do the first couple of quests, because there's some that come up right away and some that don't. So, I mean, I did try once doing them all in the best order I possibly could, but then I got the meet and greet quest. And I was in the spot where I could have made it, and I made a darn good attempt. But I was driving through such a storm, I could barely see anything. By the time I got to the meet and greet quest, I was just moments too late. And once you fail it for good. So that's why I haven't tried to do that again. I'm not confident that there's just enough time to do it. Okay, got all the free stuff. Tomatoes, we can make another potato cake. A couple potato cakes. And them cakes piled up till they reach the sky. We'll grab that after. They're good to have once when you sleep. You can use it to regenerate your food and water at the same time. Grab this, grab these. We need all our bars. And we'll see what we can create here. I think just the third backpack upgrade. Yep, there we go. Now look at this. Now you have to go to the next, or to the second screen, and then you can get the top row of it going. When you get all 4 of these, you can switch between them much easier when you're in the boxes. Until you get all 4 of them, it's kind of a pain going on having things on this side, because in the boxes you can never see what's on this side until you have all 4. You'll know what I mean if you get far enough into the game. It's a pain. Something you have to live with. So yeah, there's nothing else to build until we get the new pattern. So, oh, well, we could make a white card, but I'm not gonna. It's not necessary. Could make a water for watering the plants. I'm not gonna. The kettle. I wonder if you ever use it to heat water up. Never had steam in the game before. There's a battery for tools. I've never seen it do anything for it, so I don't know. It'd be neat if they use steam for something. Anyways, we can't make the third pickaxe till we have manganese, and we can't make anything else because we don't have any patterns. So we are pretty much ready to go to the other side. Take me to the other side. We won't probably need oxygen because we'll get so much of it. Oh, we're going to make potato cakes. We don't need machine parts and ores and all that because there's... Oh, wait, we should make another battery. And we'll make a potato cake and 1 more battery. Or 2 potato cakes. Yummy potato cakes. That and fruit salad are the best things in this game, in my opinion. That'd be one of the most tempting things to see on Mars. Can't get meat, but at least the next best thing is golden brown potatoes, fries. And we can make 1 battery. So 3 total, which is enough. Now, as you see, we're out of machine parts, so we're going to need to gather more if we want to make more batteries. But meanwhile, we're good. We got a lot of room to carry lots of stuff with us as we explore. We can pick up lots of cool things. Might as well bring these, or one of these with us. They're really kind of useless otherwise. And we can use them up in a second if we decide to. Water's good. Won't need these waters though right now. Could even make corn, roasted corn if we wanted, but we don't need it. 2 oxygens will be enough. We'll get lots more. So there. We got this whole side of our storage compartment still free. So that's it. That's all we need to make the journey north. Now we just need to have some sleep. Verify the car should be done anyways, but yep. So sleep is just for our own purposes. And then we hit the road. I'll have a full 12-hour. Time isn't going to make a huge difference at this point. The way we're doing the game, we've got plenty of time. In fact, one part of me has always wondered if you could possibly keep this game hanging on for like 120 sols or 150 sols or something. Yeah, maybe that's the key to getting that final missing quest, but it doesn't seem logical because you're in the middle of a quest all the time. If you were Gene, would you wait for these resources for 100 days, 150 days? Wouldn't you say, are you going to get these things sometime this year? Or if you're waiting for the watermelon quest later on, are you ever going to get me these watermelons? Like, how long does it freaking take to grow watermelons? It's like, at some point she'd be like, this is ridiculous. Or when she's waiting for you to come to the rocket once you finally have done your final 48. Are you ever going to come one of these years? Like, are you keep going to say, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy? It just seems really ridiculous. So yeah, if there is like 120 or 150 Sol quest, it's, in my opinion, not the best game design. Of course, it would explain why most people never have gotten it, because who's ever going to play this game that long unless they really thought there was a purpose in it? I mean, some might just love it so much they just want to keep playing it like The Sims, but really, The Sims, you can do different things, take different paths, change course. More easy to understand why people would play The Sims, for years without buying an expansion. All right, so we are done in here. We're going to head up north. Up here is an interesting valley. There's a quest you do down over here, a red circle that'll eventually appear. And when you finish that quest, you have to go up here to open the first of the item boxes that have a code on them. So we will come back here at some point to get that code. And we might eventually end up coming back through here as well after the first time. But once you can open up the shortcut, which is shortly after you get across the map to go through here or here, the value of going through the North Passage is really very limited, and it's a long route for little gain. So you don't go through the North Passage very often, so you might want to enjoy the experience the first time or two. Dark night. We'll have to use our sensors to light the way. Ooh, a synthetic. After a while, you get so many of these, you just cringe every time you see them. There are times you need a lot of them, though, so you don't want to throw them away needlessly. But if you get like 3 stacks of them, you're probably not going to be able to get much more without filling your boxes up. Whereas if you had 2 stacks of machine parts at any one time, you're pretty happy, because you tend to use them all the time for so many things. A great many things. You don't have to gather all this stuff beside the road out here. It's a bit of a walk, but lots of good stuff that if you gather now, you'll have later when you don't, when it's not so convenient to go hunting for supplies. So I try to get what makes sense. Any ore, obviously, I'm going to mine it because I just want to mind my own business. No. Yeah, level 3 car would be nice, but until you turn in that quest we're on, there's no possible way of ever getting level 3 car. And the trouble is, the one time I got level 3 car, by turning in the quest in here early on, and when I was playing this game, like actually, I think on the walkthrough, my first playthrough that I have online, I ended up logging out, logging back in, and I was never able to get the other patterns again because whatever momentum it requires to build or to get all the patterns unlocked died with me when I shut down the game. Also, if you accidentally have the game freeze up, you would lose that as well. So hopefully the game never freezes up or forces you to quit until you get your patterns. Then, I don't know. So I've never found definitive proof that once you have all patterns, logging off is really detrimental. There is one thing that was frustrating, was the fact that if you ever get those automatic irrigation systems, they take a fortune to build, and you put them in place, they'll stay forever, and you can keep filling up the water again and using them, but as soon as you log off and reload your save, they're gone, and you got to build them all over again. So those kind of things in this game make continuous play definitely advantageous. I don't know if that's the key to getting the final quest. I have played through from beginning to end without stopping, at least logging off, but never done a perfect game where I've done everything and then did that. So I don't know if someone's got a really strong gall and patience. Do everything and never log off the game until you can't do anything else. I mean, you can always build the same things over again, but build everything, create everything, put everything into place, do everything you can possibly think of. Pass as many souls as you can. Trouble is, though, do you do it before you turn the watermelon quest in? And then, does anything ever happen before the watermelon quest is turned in that would change the game any? Or is it after the watermelon quest, where, of course, you have the final 48, where you can only do a few things, you only have 48 hours. Then afterwards, you've got to keep telling her, no, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, which is a pain in the butt. Could a person really handle, or want to handle, going through many souls, continuously clicking on that to get them to get Jane to wait for you continuously? If I had the patience, I'd certainly try. Or finally, once you say, okay, I'll come, then you can go hundreds of habs if you want, or hundreds of souls if you wanted to, and never come, even though you said you would. So does that change the game, or is at that point the game already finished and just waiting for you to do what you want to do and go to the ship? I don't know. All I know is that's some of the big mysteries to me. And unfortunately, there are some possibilities that few people would ever try. Could lead to something, but I've played so many hundreds of hours into this game, all leading up to this definitive playthrough. I don't know if I have another hundreds of hours in to try these last maybe random possibilities, when nothing I've ever seen gives me any indication that there's ever going to be a change brought on from those things. Unfortunately, as you're going to see, the only ending I've ever got in this game is a terrible ending. An ending that's like, why? They basically should have almost known better and designed and known that making an ending like that that's unsatisfying would make players like me, who know about these theoretical or these talked about, and even there's a trophy to commemorate it, so I know they exist, secret endings they had planned that are, I would assume, much more happy and pleasant and satisfying. As far as I'm concerned right now, this game doesn't have a real ending because the only ending you have is basically a death. It's like dying. If the end of a game is play until you die, we're back in the old arcade ages. The charm of games with great stories nowadays is having a story that makes you feel like, wow, what a story. Back in the old arcade days, you get as far as you could with your high score and like, oh, I finally died, but man, look at that score. But yes, we've become spoiled over the years with games that have great, long, great stories. And this game needs it. It really needs a satisfying, complete story. Which is why my obsession continues. Anyone out there, whoever satisfies my obsession by helping me figure out what I've missed, will be my hero. And I will commemorate them and put them on a pedestal my whole life. As I've done everything I can myself to figure it out, and as great as this game is, as much fun it is to play, I'll never be satisfied until I see this game finished properly. I don't think I ever could be satisfied. And maybe when you see the ending, that the only ending that we're able to get without figuring out these mysteries that I keep talking about, maybe you'll realize why I'm obsessed with getting a better ending to this game. I could have maybe made the default ending a little more satisfying. But there might be a reason why the default ending is what it is when you finally realize what the other endings are. But as it stands right now, it just opens up questions that are insatiable to me. I must have an answer. And it pains me that I may never have an answer. Meanwhile, it's just fun to drive this dang car, especially at level 5. And there was a time when I couldn't even get level 5 car because I hadn't figured out how to unlock the final patterns. Still don't know exactly what changed it or what I was doing wrong back then, but I do believe it all depends on when you log off and log back on. Whatever situation you're in for patterns, when that happens, is with all the patterns you're ever going to have in the game. Which is why it's important not to stop playing until you have them all. And then if you make the assumption that nothing else depends on it, then you may log off at that point. But there may be something else that happens too that only happens if you don't log off. I don't know. And that's another part of the mystery. But in this walkthrough, I may not have the ability to play straight through. Because sooner or later I'm going to have somebody else that might want to take advantage of this PlayStation 5. But the nice thing about this game, as I said, is you can put it on pause like this and just go away, let the PlayStation go to sleep, and as long as you don't actually log out and close the game, you come back a day later, goggle back on your PlayStation, and the game's still continuing like it never left. And because you're in pause mode, your character time doesn't pass, your character doesn't lose health. So you could even be out in the middle of Mars and the game will stay perfectly preserved. There is a glitch though, and it seems to happen after I finish the game and then restart right immediately after finishing, where the start button doesn't work. Push it a million times and you can never get the pause menu, and if that happens, you have to keep playing, because as soon as you stop playing, time will keep passing. So if you get that glitch, I recommend also unfortunately starting again. Same as if the game freezes up and it forces you to reload into the game. you might as well start again if you haven't got all the patterns. Because who wants to play a game that'll forever be incomplete for you? Machine parts. Some more over here. White. If it's white, then you know it's either copper or iron. Light green, as I said, is aluminium or manganese. And light blue, kind of like a powder light blue, is platinum or titanium. Keep in mind, though, whenever you come back to these areas, some of these ores might reappear. That doesn't mean they're good and that you can remine them again. In fact, it means you can't ever remine them again in most cases. And if you try, you'll end up in that poison glitch I had talked about in the previous episode. Really painful glitch that forces you to touch your item button multiple times until it opens up your item menu, and then pick up one thing. Doesn't matter what it is. And then when you do that, then you can open the door on your car and stuff again. But until you do that, there's no symbol to open the door of the car, and you're stuck out in the open. So if you clean an area out and then accidentally hit the poison glitch, you could be stuck out of your car walking around for a while. You know, one time I had to walk a long ways to find an item I could pick up, then all the way back to the car. Learned the hard way to be very careful about mining ore that you think you might have mined before. But when the first time you go everywhere, you know the ore is brand new. So if you mine everything in that area that you see, and try to find it all, then you won't have to worry about going back later on and being fooled. So I try to be pretty systematic about what I mine and where I mine and how much I mine. So I don't forget what ores I've mined in the past. Is that an ore up there, I think? Or something's up there. I know that's a ruin thing. Superconductor. Not needed till later on in the game for building some of the more complex things. There's a box up there, but I don't think I can open it. Anything that's always red when your inventory is not full is a box of some sort. Whenever you run out of room for something, though, then everything of that type that you can't pick up will be red. So whenever you see a red thing, if you want to be sure if it's a box, just open your inventory and see if there's still room for other stuff. If there is, then you know it's most likely a box. My beautiful Mars rover car. Sure is nice night. How about a little test drive down by the lake? Except there's no water, so you're not going to get any mud on the tires. Just dirt, and dust, and rock. I just confirmed that we can't open this box. Pretty sure it'll say we need a key card. Oh no! Freebie. Haha, nice. And you'll see there's all these little nooks and crannies. There's stuff sometimes in there. And it's cool. But that would be a great spot to have little caves or things, but they never do. In fact, I've never found any way to get up on top of any of this top plateau. So if anyone could ever find a way to get up into this place, it would be cool. But I tried going all the way along with the mountain climbing stick to rock glitch, and I've never once been able to grab on and get up there. So as far as I know, it is impossible. Not all this stuff up here. Don't want to drive the car in there because it's a waste of battery. Ooh, and a machine part that I would have missed otherwise. It's just the little super little chips, yeah. And a little computer nano chip. Use them, one of them and a titanium to make the level 3 keycards. Blue. Colored. And you can skip on a lot of this stuff. You know what it is. You can, if you don't want to grab it, don't. Just keep going through if you want. You can save yourself time. I'm doing the long way to get lots of goodies so that later on when the meat and potatoes of the game starts happening, I won't have to go around looking for stuff as much.
What?
Flour. Hi.
Why are you off today?
I worked Sunday.
Oh. You did?
Yes.
Oh, right. Who's picking up on me?
I probably will have to.
Because it's already 3:20.
Do you want to pick her up? That'd be a favor, because I don't want to end this video for another hour, and I don't want to leave people hanging.
I can go pick her up.
But I appreciate it. Pick up my wife. That's my other daughter. We have yet to do anything video game related. Although she's spoken of interest in Resident Evil 7. And it'd be in VR. I think it'd be really cool, but can't drag the gamer out of her. Nor the actress out of her yet. Get a little musician out of her every now and again. Alright, let's get back on the road and... Still a long way to go, so... I'm facing the direction... Oh, I'm not facing the direction I thought I was facing. Oh, another machine part.
Liam's phoned me up. I was like, can you pick up Mom? Dad's in the middle of reading a video.
Yep. Sounds reasonable. Hope she gets her car soon. That'll be nice. Car can be paid for and fixed at the shop so she can actually drive again without having to drive our vehicle. Alright, and this is synthetic, I believe, yeah. Moving right along. Long way to go and a short time to get there. I mean, you're always welcome to fast forward through sections of this if you want. Nothing much is going to happen except me slowly going through this tunnel. As I said, skipping that one entrance. You might want to, there's a little bit in here I'm going to go into, and there's a direct tab in here. Other than that, I just go straight through. Sometimes there's some things here I pick up. And then into the hab here, so. No surprises, it's just what, you want to know what all the items on the ground are. Because these items are always the same. I mean, they're not random. It's not like, you play the game again and they're all of a sudden different things. They're always the same. So knowing where everything you want isn't a bad thing. Ugh, disoriented when you pop out at weird directions. Synthetic. And you can go up onto some of these slopes and things if you want. Anything above a certain slope, though, usually you can't. Oh, there is one glitchy mound that you'd even drive the car on top of. It's ridiculous that you can do it. It's way too steep, but the glitch lets you do it, so it's kind of fun. I'm sure I'll show you that somewhere in this series. I think you can pause the stream. Might need to for a washroom break. I guess I could have done that to get my wife too. Forgot you can pause streams without ending them. think I have any viewers, do I? I don't usually do these expecting to get viewers. It'd be nice if I had some Twitch viewers, but I find that these are more valuable as videos because people who are directly searching for information on these games will find them. And there's virtually nothing to find on Mars Alive when you search for it. Nothing recent anyways, especially. So I know that having these videos up is a great way to... Ooh, potato seeds, that's the ones you need if you do the other supply quest. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pause this stream just for a minute here. There we are. I believe the broadcast is resumed. Hopefully that's not all dead air, but if it is, I'll have to edit it out. Just make absolute sure again. Uh-oh. Oh no, my controller's glitching. Stop it. Okay. My controller was moving by itself. Okay. I think we're back and good again. That's annoying. Oh, what is going on with the controller all of a sudden? Stop. Don't tell me this game is glitching on me. Please don't do this anymore. Oh, come on. What is wrong with it? I'm going to change controllers. Sure hope this works. What the heck is going on? I just did a controller update. I hope that has nothing to do with that. Seems to be better now. Oh, man. That was scary. As I said, you can't interrupt the game. If you have to reload, we lose everything. Gonna need a new battery soon. Let me just double check. Good. Stream still going. There's no stream, there's no video afterwards, so. I assume the one person watching is my phone, but if you are somebody, thanks. Glad to have you. See, leave me a comment, tell me who you are and that you watched and how long you watched for and what you thought, because I'm not used to getting viewers on Twitch. Most of what I do is more personal in nature, I guess, to some people. Some people might not see the value at a glance, so they don't think it'll be interesting. And this is more of a game I think people tend to seek out information on when they buy it. Because they get to a point where they wonder, how do I do that? How do you do that? Does that work? And then they seek information and then they realize there's not anything on this game. Well, my goal is to have something on this game, so. But yeah, no, please let me know if you're here and why, who you are, and appreciate the acknowledgement. Let me know some people actually watch this once in a while. I mean, I try to always treat every stream and every moment of every stream as if someone's watching. Don't ever want to assume somebody isn't, because if they are, that's not good PR. I'm going to go into this little nook here. I think this nook is where, using the wall climbing technique, I was able to get into the cavern in the middle. It's huge and open and glitchy a little bit, and there's absolutely nothing there whatsoever, and the only way out, once you get in, is to actually go across and come out into this middle part here. But it was quite the adventure. I will definitely be doing a video showing that off, because that was one of my pride and joy moments. Oh, I'm running out of room for something. Water. I only got one, really? I want to be able to hold more than one water. That's not good. Oh, I can get rid of some of this medicine. Yeah, because I want to be able to get more water. A couple of ores in here, I think. Looks like. Ooh, aluminium, I think. Green, anyways, aluminium or manganese, as I was saying before. Looks like all these nooks and crannies could have cool stuff, but unfortunately, as I said, none of them really do. But it's still fun to explore into them, just see what's there. Of course, there's places where if you go into them, sometimes you can actually get stuck. Have to reload, so you don't want to do a lot of exploring at this point. Not until you have every pattern, at least. Now, if you're with me in this series, we will explore every inch of Mars that is explorable. Some of them will be in the glitch videos. But every area that you can explore normally, we will explore normally. So if there's an area that you haven't explored and you don't want to take your own time, it will be in one of these videos, in the definitive edition. Alright, back to the car. Manganese! I gotta make room for that. Manganese always has that wide, almost like a dung shape to it. Now what am I gonna get rid of? Actually, I'll use one of those, one of these peroxide things. Looks like peroxide, tastes like yummy food. And I'll be able to get a stack of manganese on the prime process. Now here's the manganese glitch. Often you won't be able to do the third piece. You'll have to kind of move around until, and just keep clicking X until eventually the symbol appears, and then it will mine it. As long as you click it at the right time. Eventually you'll get it. Manganese can be a pain sometimes. Just that last piece. Just about at the... Broken Hab nook. More oxygen. I probably have way more oxygen than I need, don't I? Could always get rid of a stack of it, but I like to have a few stacks of it for when you go to explore later on. Because you can use, when you've been exploring for a while, you use oxygen up so fast. Yeah, no more oxygen. 2 stacks is enough. See, if you just leave your car once in a while like I do, you don't even need to generally use oxygen at all. Because your car, especially at level, as you get up in higher level, like level 2 right now, really does give you a full oxygen supply. They say sometimes you can still get cold, but even that hasn't really happened much to me. And another machine part. It's about 3 or 4 or 5 of them you can get if you search hard. 6 even, maybe. Enough to build 2 batteries. something in that nook there, but yes, we will definitely need to use a battery to get to the far hab, or the other end of this place. At least one. I think sometimes I remember even using two. I think there's some more ore out there and stuff on this side, but I tend to round the corner. At this point, we're pretty stacked on all the things that we really need early in the game that this place would provide. You don't really get much besides aluminium, copper, and iron on this side of the map. Another little ruin there. I'll check. I'll show it to you. It's kind of different, but I want to go into here right now to the broken hab. Broken hab number 2 of 3, or is there 4? I can't remember. Oxygen. There's 3. Lots of cool junk around here. I don't think you ever quite find the actual broken hab that you see when you in the loading screen when you continue on and stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen that broken hab before. Because if you look around, you'll see specific things. You can almost walk out into the outside if you can get your cord on your VR to go far enough, but it seems like there's things there that none of these have around it. Machine part. Don't need medication or it. Yeah, copper. You look, you'll see now this is on the map, this broken hab, Hab 206. I think they mentioned that in one of the early conversations, at Hab 206. So, little big water hidden up here. I think a machine part down there. So I haven't jumped off any cliffs yet. That's one of the other cool thing about this game. I don't know if it's a glitch or just a cool feature, but anytime you jump off a cliff with yourself, or even if you're in the car, you float to the ground. And so if you're really high up, it's almost like a ride. It's so cool. I mean, Mars has very little gravity, so I mean, I can see it being slower, but it almost seems like it's a little surreal. But it's really cool jumping off cliffs in this game, because you never get hurt, and you get to watch yourself floating towards the ground. Even one of the highest points in the absolute game, you can drive off or jump off and watch yourself float all the way down. And I think that alone is a cool feature of this game. Who hasn't always wanted to jump off a cliff and flutter to the ground? It's like your craziest dream, where you can almost fly. Ooh, I don't want to give up a machine part, though. I need more room for machine parts. Oh, I'll eat my potato cake. Yeah, because you don't want to turn down a free machine part. So here, I'll show you these two things quickly, and then coming up is the turn off towards that inner part that we're going to be skipping. You do need to go there, but generally it's the last hab you need to go to, because it generally once you're there, you've unlocked every single pattern if you've done them all and haven't logged off and reloaded. But there's no advantage doing it early and then coming back, so I mean, there's a few ores in there that are good, but until you have the blue key card, which you can't get until you turn that quest in, you can't do everything you can do in that inlet anyways. Another one of these machines you can't do anything with. There's a little passage up there you can walk up. I don't believe there's anything there to grab, or if it is, it's food or something. It's virtually nothing. However, if you If you use the mountain climbing glitch, you can eventually climb up into all this, and it's all glitched, or a bunch of it is glitchy on the edges, but you can walk and explore all this area, which is so cool. I will be doing that in one of my glitch videos, showing you how you can go to all these cool secret parts that you're not supposed to go to, using the mountain climbing stick to rock glitch.
So then Leah owes me $7.
Hi.
Hi. Mom's picked up.
Thanks.
Some idiot almost made me get into a car accident.
Almost made you.
Yeah.
At gunpoint?
They had a stop sign, right?
Yeah.
The light was green, so I was getting ready to just go.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, on like the service road area, the guy comes out of nowhere as I'm like almost like mid, like I just got to like the stop line if it was red and there was someone already in the first area.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to like slam on the brakes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to when the light first turns green, you got to be careful because some people are still going through the intersection.
The light had been green almost that whole time. Like.
What did he blow a red light? What did he do?
He didn't have a light. He had a stop sign. He was on the service road.
Oh, I see.
What's that?
Thank you.
Maybe Daddy wanted.
Elvis Presley? Yay!
Yeah.
When I get to watch Elvis, I've been waiting for this movie to come out for ages. Thanks, honey. My wife. So as you see, the entrance to the amusement park's just up ahead. I'm about to run out of battery, though. Yeah, you're right, he does. Just got her license the other week, so. It's my other daughter, not the jobber daughter. She's had her license almost for a year. So there we go. When you do this, level 2, you add a battery, it's only 66% you get. Level 1 is 100. In each level, you can go further on your first battery, or first full charge, but you get less per battery you add on. That's why I like to have lots of batteries on the high level cars, but so he doesn't know what could be, if there's anything wrong with it yet?
No, he doesn't.
Interesting.
Apparently, it sounds like he doesn't think that there's anything wrong with it.
Well, why? But the radiator had to be filled up. Why was it empty?
I don't know, but apparently the radiator's fine. Look at it. There'll be something wrong with
Radiators don't generally go empty. Hmm.
I know that the front ones were then.
Oh, is that manganese or aluminium? Aluminium, I think. Yep. See that red and that Z's with the red there? That tells me we're getting tired. Sooner or later, if we keep staying out and not going into a hab and sleeping, all our resources, all our attributes, our food and our oxygen and our water will keep going back to yellow even when we replenish. At that point, you'll waste all your resources really quickly if you don't get home, so. There are limits to how far you can go before you need to get back to a hab. Even if all you're doing is taking short walks all the time. But with short walks, you use less oxygen for the most part, so. So take a short walk on a long pier. Okay, back to the car. oxygen. As long as it keeps going back to blue and stays there for at least a couple seconds, you know you've still got some energy for walking left. When it starts turning yellow in seconds, and you know you have to pray for a hab sooner. Your resources will go down like hotcakes, or you'll die. I think this is a machine part. Yep, almost at the, well, it's only halfway. Well over halfway to the destination, though. And after a quick little stopover, we will be ending this episode and breaking it onto the third. Iron. No room for it right now. And I'm not going to throw anything good away to get more iron at this point. Sorry I don't look at this map enough. It's nice to follow along. I know when I'm on a plane I like to follow the map on the screen. The thing about VR is you only see what I see. I control what you look at. I'm like your television set and your commercials and or the person in your house with a remote control. Final turn towards the end of our trip to the other side of the map. See if there's any ore worth grabbing here. Can't grab the iron. Whatever that is, I can't grab it either. Just get to know what it is. It might be aluminium. If it's manganese, we could get it, so it's got to be aluminium. Yeah. Oh, titanium. Can't mine that yet. We need the third pickaxe. Ooh, there you go. That's when you know you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. And yes, we got to spend most of our time in the vehicle now, or we will have some really tough times, or use all our resources, or one more machine part. So yeah, you got to be very careful exploring at this point. I wonder if having a little bit of health. No. Oh, maybe that did help. No. Gloomy music. There is a ledge that you go across from a bridge from here. There's a signal tower up there. Actually, you can see the signal tower right there. That's one of those signal towers I was telling you about. There's 3 of them. You can ride up them to activate them, but it doesn't seem to do anything in the game whatsoever, and that drives me crazy because why would they build these things and put them in the game and make them active, one of the few cool things in the game, to do nothing with them? So unless that was an idea they had that they abandoned, or it's something to do with the missing quest, I'll never know. Whether I activate them or don't activate them, it doesn't seem to change the game any, so that's all I will say. And I've tried activating them at different times before different events. Nothing has ever made a difference with those towers. Not even the slightest difference. So yes, if anyone can solve the mystery of the signal towers, that would also be cool. Why are they there? You'd think if you activate all 3, something would happen. Jane would be able to get a signal from something, or I don't know. Anything. That's aluminium too, so we got some aluminium to come back and get if we ever need it. Yeah, we might need one more battery to get to the... Theoretically, we could try calling the vehicle if we can get close enough. It may or may not be close enough, but then, I don't know, sometimes I've had it freeze the car, or a glitch where the car freezes up in its charging place and you can never drive it again. So you shut down, and we don't want that, because that would ruin our continuity of our game, which we need. Almost out, anyways. Almost home. Synthetic. Or composite fiber, if you will. Oh, might... No, just missed it. Good. If you try to drive over a spot where you can't, it makes you stop, back up, and go forward again, and I hate that. And this flower. Oh, that's a superconductor. There are more machine parts around here, but I think I got enough. There's one or two kicking around somewhere, right around here. Out there, maybe? Yep. Can't tell. This might be two. Or it might be the synthetic. Oh, machine part. Good. This might be as well. Yay. Alright. There's two there. Good to note those, because sometimes around here you really need them for building your upgrades, because the next upgrades cost a lot of machine parts, some of them. And little computer chips to make blue cards with, and among other things. We're cutting your week, but we're almost there. Might probably need to change the battery here. And yes, so once you know you're not worried about the game freezing up or something, or becoming unplayable, you could probably just go into the hab and call the vehicle if you're close enough, and we're almost there. But I don't want to take a chance, and I have lots of batteries, so I will use a battery.
Take a battery.
A battery?
In your ass.
Huh? You don't do that. They are not to be anally fitted.
They're also not to be eaten. Where's not my...
Especially not after being anally fitted. Shame to waste a whole battery, but I mean, we got to get to 100% anyway, so the charging will still give us the extra. And we are at our destination, the last hab we're going to discover in this episode. I call this the Central Hab because it's probably the most important hab in the game. There's a greenhouse here, the smaller of the two greenhouses. A teleporter, so you can teleport from this hab between the other ones that have teleporters, the other two. And it's the MER, which will soon be on that spot, and you can send it on missions. Usually just to gather stuff for you. Get some free seeds here once you can open the boxes. But it's a level 2 and a level 3 box, I think. Oh no. That one you can just grab. Still a couple of things. That one you need level 3, a blue card for. And finally, we can be good for oxygen anyways, and although we're going to need to rest. We're desperately in need of sleep. But first, we can activate this hab. Now, there's a quest that tells you to activate this hab you get after this. and you just teleport or come back here, and you can open it up, and it'll give you credit anyways. So to be perfect, I suppose you should do the other hab first and come back here. But I didn't find any long-term value to doing that. So, and if you get the meet and greet quest from here, you barely have time to make it before you run out of time. So I don't turn in my next quest yet. Charge the car. Now let's see if we get any new patterns. I'm pretty sure we do here. Our first set of new patterns. Voila! Look at that. 2 new some items to help for traveling, which you make later. 2 new levels of car. 2 new levels of MER. And 2 new levels of backpack. Some new items here. And there's your green and blue card even. Wow. I've never got the blue card that easy before. I don't know why I had trouble in the past. I guess continuity. Playing the game straight through is key. There are still more patterns to get, though, so we can now make blue cards and everything. Huh. Go figure. Anyways, we need sleep. Big time. And we can get all the freebies. There's no back part to this one, just the greenhouse. Ugh, exhausted. 12-hour sleep.
Water level low.
We'll be fine. We will be fine. Whoa, boy! Is it ever water level low? Here, I'll use the hydrogen peroxide. Okay. See, now everything's great. There's more hydrogen peroxide, too. Lots of seeds. Oh, and a recipe here. The paper on the thing, there's a recipe. If you can get it to have an X over it, you can grab it. Just being stubborn. There. No, it flicked at the last second to the box. Hate that. I wish it was easier to pick what you wanted to target. Like a toggle between targets button or something. That is one of the annoying things. Gotta watch carefully for that X to appear. And push at the exact right time. There we go. It's a recipe for my chocolate dessert that I like so much. Or was I saying fruit salad? I meant chocolate dessert. That chocolate dessert and the potato cakes are the best items in the game to make for food. Because you get water and food from the desserts. Wow, do I have a lot of food. And a lot of water and a lot of oxygen. So much stuff. Seeds. So let's just grab the ores first of all for the free stuff, because there's ores kicking around here, I believe. Or I could be remembering wrong. I think there is, though. I believe there's some ores actually in the greenhouse even. Oh, gotta hit the... What's going on? Oh, there we go. See your first time seeing the greenhouse? Unless you watch my old videos. This is the smaller of the 2 greenhouses. And yeah, there's that that ore I was saying. Might as well grab it. Seeds. If you want to finish the game, you could plant some watermelons if you have some seeds. That's where you first find out that you need an auto irrigation device, which you can build later if you want. But so I was saying the problem with them is they take a lot to build, and then when you build them, you can't log off the game and reload, or else they're gone. So you gotta make sure you have a purpose before you use them. Or even before you build, waste resources on building them if you got something else you'd rather build. Okay, anything else we want of the freebies we can grab? Synthetic, good. That water pail there cannot be grabbed. You have to create one. Oh, good. And then there's some seeds maybe we can grab here. Yay, good. Lots of freebies. Seeds you can have almost an unlimited amount of, so if you see them, grab them. They're pretty much free to have on you. Oh, to get the stuff on the other side, where you get your full 8 backpack slots, you need to clear slots on this side and hit the right stick, the one that does the scanning. And see, now there's nothing more, otherwise more would appear. But yeah, you can't ever see the other side when you're in here until you have all 8 of them. Not sure why that's the case. It is not exactly a glitch, just a game design element that's a little off. Okay, now we can create some ores, and we'll actually have aluminium ore and manganese ore. Might even be able to make a titanium bar and make one of those blue cards, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they give you 2 titanium. If not here, one of the other habs gets you 2 titanium, I think, or another titanium. I know there's at least 2 free titanium pieces in these habs. Aluminium bar. They're silvery color, very silvery, which seems reasonable because it's basically aluminum, or what's used to make aluminum. Sorry if you hear my family in the background. They're alright. They're tame. Okay, no platinum. I didn't get any platinum or titanium this time. Okay. So we cannot make the blue card, but we can make green cards and white cards if we want. And we can probably make the 3rd pickaxe, which will be nice. But let's... Oh, we should get the car charging. Or did we already get the car charging? Hopefully we did, because then it'll be all charged because we slept. Yeah, good. All these bars. Grab these, and these. Let's see if we can make anything with them. All we can make with them. Probably want to make our car upgrade if we can, because it's nice to have a level 3 car. Nope, need more manganese. I don't know where we can get that before we go too much further, so I think I will. We don't need MER yet. How about the level 4 backpack? No, need lots more manganese for that, so that will have to wait a while. So except for making the next level car, we don't have anything else there. We could make a green card, but we don't need to yet. And we can't make the better pickaxe either. I need to make more batteries regardless. Okay, nothing to make right now. So let's go just dump this off. Take one more little run here before we call it an episode. We don't really need to take much with us on this trip because we're not going to drive. We're just going to walk. I think we need anything else. Yeah, I think we're good. Now you may want to do the save thing, but I'm not going to bother because I'll be right back. I know where we're going is safe. We're going to grab enough manganese to at least finish the car upgrade. And it's all in this little area here. Oh, not all, and we have to go out here, I think, somewhere too. There's one out there somewhere. It's dark and cold, but we'll be fine. we're not going to be out too long. This episode will be over soon. And the next one, we're going to have to hit the final habs. We're going to turn in the quest. First of all, we're going to hit the final habs. Do at least one quest, because the meet and greet quest comes up right quickly at that point. We have to do that one properly if we want to complete everything in the game that we can complete. And then once we hit all the habs, we will have all the patterns, and at that point, theoretically, if a person wanted to log out of the game, there may not be any problem with it. I'm still skeptical that ever logging out of the game risks breaking a chain of continuity that might eventually trigger what I'm missing, but so if I was a person that was trying to be smart, I would say play straight through. Never stop. Or, I mean, sorry, it doesn't come out right. Play straight through without actually closing out the game. Let your PlayStation go into sleep mode between sessions. But sometimes things change, like for example, if you make a mistake and get stuck, or if you accidentally get your car stuck in the charging spot where it doesn't move, that glitch, there's nothing you can do about those. They are permanent. And the only thing to do at that point is to log off the game and restart it. Reload your last save game, I mean. Manganese. And there's a poison platinum up ahead too, I'll tell you about. To avoid those poison platinums like the plague, because they will never work. See off into this big valley with these cool mountains in it. I swear there should be something that comes out of here or appears in here in the middle or something. And there's some ores in here and stuff, and there's a secret box here that's for the missing quest somewhere in this area, but wow, would that be a great place? Something to like come out of the ground, or if there'd be a hole that opens up that leads underground. It's like this big area with nothing. And those three things would beg you to wonder if something's in the middle. There's the poison platinum. Do not touch it. It will trigger the poison glitch if you even as much as try to mine it. It is not mineable. There's one of 4 or 5 or 6 chunks of poison platinum in the game. In fact, there's a few up in here too, or at least one up in here as well. They're kind of all centralized somewhat. And then there's one in this little dead end here. Oh yeah, there's one up in the platform too. So that middle area is a breeding ground for poison platinum. We want one more node of manganese so we can make the car upgrade. It'd be nice to get even more manganese to get the pickaxe upgrade, but we'll get that when we do the middle part last year on the next episode. There's a little bit of manganese there you can get that'll get you enough. And there's one more piece here which will be enough to get us our... I think there's one that way too, further out here somewhere, but we'll get it later. We don't need it right now. We've got to wrap this episode up. I just wanted to show you a couple of pieces of manganese that are useful. Nine sol. Good old manganese glitch. You will get it. It's just sometimes you gotta fuss a little bit. Same as getting that recipe. in the Hab before. Remember if there's anything else in here. And there's the signal tower, nice good view. Can't see the other one off in that direction, but you will soon. Next episode. Oh well, I guess we're gonna leave it at that. Head to the Hab, upgrade the car, be ready to go on a trip, and then we will call it an episode. When next episode gets near the end, we will have every pattern. Because we have not. As long as we can make it without having to close the game and reopen it. Once you have them all and you save, you will never lose them. You just won't ever get them if you log out before you get them all. Saving still working? Saving still working? Better be. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. So where's the saving? If it disappears, it's not say it doesn't save anymore. And you have to log off. Okay. We have space to make stuff, yeah. We also want to see if there's any more manganese, yeah. Oh, 7, it's an odd number anyways. We could plant crops here if we wanted. I don't want at this moment. Could also make a couple of green cards so that we can get some extra manganese when we do the middle part, or that part we skipped at the beginning when we were coming through. Oh, I could make copper ore too. Oh, corn was hiding in my other screen. Okay, so now to make the next level car, I think we need aluminium, and of course we need our manganese. We need some machine parts. What else? That's it. We'll have 1 manganese left. Level 2 car upgrade. It'll now be a level 3 car. 3 of 5. Goes faster. Lasts longer on 100% charge, a little bit. But it doesn't charge up as much with the battery. So let's start this upgrade right now, because it takes time. Upgrade. If you have the upgrade, it'll say 1 of 1, MR Kit 2. And we have 8 minutes to wait, or 8 hours in game time. Okay, now what do we have left? I mean, you know, gotta find out how many machine parts we have. We gotta budget them. Decide what we can and want to make and what we don't or can't afford to make. Some iron. No, we don't need that extra. To be honest, we don't need the 9 medication. No, 1 is actually not bad at all. Cool notes on the wall that you can't quite read. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of not being in 1080p. You're not supposed to read them. Definitely not enough to get the level 4 backpack. And definitely not enough to get the next pickaxe, so we will do that shortly after. Did I not grab my machine parts? Ah, everything but. So we have 11. So we make one. We want to have 2 batteries, because we have 1 left, I think, right? Right, we have 1 battery left. I'd like to make 2 more if possible. Yep. I'd like to have 3 batteries whenever possible. Minimum. Okay, so let's make 2 batteries quickly then. We still don't need this battery yet. There's not enough things we need to build that take a lot of energy from Habs. Okay, then we have... I'd make a 3rd battery if I wanted, but I think we have enough. So let's make 2 green cards. And 3 white cards. No, I need to grab more machine parts too. But at least we got a good stock of our cards now. Might drink one of those peroxides, I think. They're just a waste of space. It's not like I'd ever normally use them if I didn't have to. They're just there. Okay, let's have our sleep, because the car is charging anyways. Sure how many hours we'll need. Probably not many this time. A little tired, so maybe 6 hours. Good. Almost Sol 10, a milestone. Sol 30 was one of the trophies. Okay, so we're not going to try to make any cards for a while, because we want to save our machine parts for what they're more important for. I want to reorganize. No, that's good. And oxygen. And pills. And batteries. And cards. Then we can grab some of this special water if we want. That's good. And we can, I guess, fully stock up on Mars bars. Doesn't hurt. We can always use more. I think we're good. And, oh, let's finish to make sure the car is charging. And then we're ready to call it an episode. Because after the upgrade, you always got to charge it. One hour. Okay, I'll just have a quick nap then. And that's going to be the end of episode 2 of the definitive edition of my playthrough of Mars Alive PSVR. This edition will show you how to do almost everything in the game, except the final quest and how to get the final endings, which I've never got, and maybe answer a few questions that I still have never been able to answer. But everything else you'll be able to do. So again, I'm Danimal Daniel Jobber, aka Bad Player 03. You can follow me on Instagram at Daniel Jobber, all lowercase, or Daniel Jobber on Twitter, capital D, capital J, or you can email me at danieljobber@gmail.com if you have questions, suggestions, comments, or if you know some of the secrets in this game that I've been craving the answer to. Know anyone that's gotten those last 3 trophies that no one seems to be able to get? Look forward to your feedback. But for now, we're going to call it episode 2. Jobber out.